You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm josemonkey, and I find people who ask to be found. It's International Week! Okay, my first two videos for International Week were both in European countries, but as promised, this video is in some place that is very far away from both of those locations. So what can we see? This video begins with someone holding up a Find Me sign. They raise the camera and show us a busy street scene in what looks like a city. The Korean writing on the buildings immediately tells us that this is probably South Korea, because I seriously doubt anybody's sending me videos from north of the 38th parallel. The person just shows us a few of the storefronts here, but I observed the following things. The first store is a restaurant, and we can see a URL and what looks like it might be a phone number. I'll come back to that. The next store looks like it might be a bakery. I say that because it looks like there might be a croissant painted on the window. Also, I feel like we can kind of see pastries or something inside the shop, but I could just be imagining that once I convinced myself it was a bakery. We can also see some reversed writing. It says ABC and then a hyphen. I assumed this was probably a reflection in the window and it's something behind the camera. I also noted the architecture of this building here. We can see the blue framed windows, and I noted the way that the building kind of curves around the corner. Next we see a small alley and then a rather tall building next to that, and that building has the number 2F on it and also has the name of a different business. And that's about it. Okay, so this writing here says chadao gimbap. Gimbap is a Korean dish that's sort of like sushi. It doesn't use raw fish though, it usually uses cooked proteins and vegetables and rice wrapped in seaweed. And like I said, it looks like there's a URL and what I thought was a phone number on the building. Guys, I thought that phone number would get me this location right away. But I don't know if I'm just unfamiliar with South Korean phone number formats or if I was doing something wrong, but for some reason I was having trouble getting any useful results from that. So I went to go check out that website. By the way, when I went to look at that website today, it appears to be down, but fortunately I looked at it previously and took some screenshots. Anyway, this looked like it was a franchise of these restaurants, and it had a map that showed the locations. So I thought maybe that map would help me to figure out where this was. But honestly, that map was a little bit hard to use, especially if you don't read Korean. And I didn't think it was that many locations at first, but when you zoom in, I realized it's a lot more than I thought. So I fumbled around with that store locator for a little bit, but then I decided maybe I should try a different approach. So I wanted to figure out what that ABC sign that we saw was. And honestly, it didn't take very long to figure out that it was likely ABC Mart. Wikipedia tells me that's a Japanese footwear company, so I figured maybe I could use the locator on their site to figure out where they had stores in South Korea. But guys, for some reason I was having trouble getting that site to load too. I think somebody in South Korea is mad at me. So I just brought up Google Maps and started looking for ABC Mart locations in South Korea. And that's not always the best approach because it's not a great way to get a definitive list of all the locations. It just gives you the ones in the area that you're looking at. But I just started poking around, looking at several different locations and trying to see if any of them matched what I saw in the video. At one point, I was looking at a location that I was getting ready to skip because the surrounding area didn't look right to me. But then I saw this. That's that bakery with the blue trim around the windows. And guys, that was it. You were here on this street corner in Daegu, South Korea. So like I said, I very nearly missed this place because it looks very different in the street view than it does in the video that I was sent. The Google Street View photos are all from 2018, and we can see that that gimbap restaurant isn't even there. And that tall building on the corner has changed pretty significantly. Fortunately, that bakery looks pretty much the same, otherwise I might have had a hard time recognizing this place. Okay, it's time to check which previous location is closest to this one. And this time it was in Season 1, Episode 203, in Iwakuni, Japan. That is about 384 kilometers or 239 miles away from this spot. Guys, this is the first time I have located somebody in South Korea. So that brings the number of countries in which I have found people so far to 42. This one was a pretty quick find, under 20 minutes. But the next video that I'm going to do ranks up there among the longest searches I have done to date. It's nearly as long as that search that I did to find that location in Ibiza recently. But I'll tell you about that one next time. If anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say "Find me, josemonkey" or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.